If you just joined us, we are in the latest update for the fly-by-wire A320NX and Microsoft Flight Simulator. They've been doing some really neat updates with LNAV and VNAV. And so today we're using a combination of the top of descent calculator here. We've also drawn a little range ring here on our navigation display, which you're not close enough to see yet, but we're going to try and make this a managed descent and see how the airplane handles its managed descent. In the past, this airplane would put you into what we call the dive of death, and that means it's just plunging you into the ground at ludicrous speed. So today we're going to do a really nice approach to see how it works, and this is going to be a nice managed descent all the way down into San Francisco. We don't have an actual top of descent hockey stick quite yet in here. I know that they're working on it. So my way of figuring out top of descent is using the top of descent calculator right there, which has 104 miles, and then flight plan, which gives me a distance on the flight plan. You put those two numbers together, and that's how you know when to start doing your descent. And it seems to work for me pretty good. Now let's also go down here and go to Radio Nav, and our ILS for San Francisco is going to be, oh, that's a GLS. Oops, got the wrong one. Not very good. ILS 28 right. There we go. I clicked the wrong button. So here we go. Now this is good, much better. So 3,000 feet. I think I had 2,000 feet, didn't I? Nope, 3,000. That's perfect. So we're in good shape there. And the ILS frequency is 111.7, 111.7. So we've already verified that the airplane knows that that's the ILS runway that we've got. I go back to flight plan mode. 265 miles to San Francisco. I need 104 for my descent. So that's kind of how we do that. Today's going to be kind of different because we're going to go and make this managed. And see what happens for a managed descent. Okay, there's our final cruise. So look over here, and it says basically we're going to need about 104 nautical miles to land. So here's something fun that you can do. We like to do this every now and then. Go over here to Flight Plan and hit Padres. That's the, or it doesn't have to be Padres. It's just the upper left-hand button. So hit that button, go to Fix Info. Let's do KSFO. This is going to be our arrival airport. And remember what we got for our descent, 104. Let's round it up and just make it 105. And come over here, there's 105. And that looks really good, 105. Go back to the flight plan. And then if you look up here, if we go into a bigger map range, you can see a ring. We drew a ring around San Francisco. And this is going to give you a basic, sort of general guide about when to start your descent. There's a huge fudge factor on this one, but it should work for you pretty well. Let's do the fuel prediction. Let's see how we're doing in fuel. It says I'm going to have 2.3 tons of fuel in the tanks. Let's look at our flight plan and see how bad I am. I need 2.6. If this goes up, you know, just 3 little clicks there, we've won in the fuel game. So if that goes to 2.6, we've got the proper fuel. And I did board like 45 minutes of new fuel in there, so fuel is pretty good. Earlier you saw we were talking about the little top of descent, you know, the range ring. It's now starting to show up. It shows us about 65 miles away, right around Surfer. The thing about this is only the range from around the actual airport. So this is not going to be an accurate idea of what it is. This is not going to be an accurate top of descent. All this is a really great little way to say, hey, it's almost time to start thinking about doing a top of descent. So that's how that range ring works. It's a good reminder, but it is a real What's the best word for it? There's a huge fudge factor in that one. How's the gas doing? Fuel prediction, 2.6. What did the flight plan say? Flight plan said 2.6. It's right spot on, Ben. Shh, don't say anything. The fuel is right on. It's never supposed to be right on in my cockpit, so there you go. So let's put in our altitude now. Descend and maintain. Yeah, descend via the star, basically, is what we got. 127. So in 17 miles, we are going to press the button. 110. All right, so here we go. Manage descent. Constraints. Look down here. Descend, and down we go. All right, it's looking for a constraint of flight level 200, and that's our first constraint. So at this point in time, maybe this is a little bit too hopeful, but I'm saying VNAV is working good. Pretty good descent. We're descending at about 2,500 feet per minute. That's a far cry from the 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 feet per minute we would get, you know, back in the old days. Oh, look at that, Ben. You're absolutely right. It is now looking for flight level 150. And we have to be above flight level 190. So this is not going to let us go below flight level 190 here at Waves. So this thing is really doing good with this descent. Danny VDW has just come on in here with METAR.TAF. So this is our runway. We are looking for 28 right. And since winds are nothing at nothing, we don't have to worry about winds. But we do have a few clouds at 5,500. A few more above 8,000. 10 miles visibility. So we're all about really nice VFR. Yeah, it's called METAR.TAF.com. Really good website. Out of the clouds.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Okay, everything's looking good there. So this really did handle a good descent. Now's the time that I usually go ahead and get ready to slow it down and get ready for speed. But this was really good. 200. We can do gear. Always good to see the landing gear go down. Landing lights work too. Always good to see wheels.
50, 40. 30, 20, return.
Always fun to watch a landing like this.
Unstable.
What do you mean unstable? This was a great landing for outside the airplane. Outside the airplane landings are never that great, but this one worked good. There goes our speed brakes. There goes our flaps. No, now there weren't any cats. This was good. Okay, did we get the APU up and running on enough? Yeah, we did. So we can come down here. Engine number 2. Engine number 1. We'll stop squawking. And we'll turn that off. We'll turn off predictive wind shear. Reset the rudder for the next crew. Seatbelts can go off. Disarm the doors. We'll turn off our fuel pumps like good pilots, because I guess they like to do that. External power is good, so we can go over there. Outside we go. I think we can go up here and hit toolbar pushback and maybe even get ourselves a jetway. Yeah, look at that. We're going to get a jetway here. Everything's good and clear over here. Now, to unload passengers, go to McDo menu. Go to ATSU. Air Operations. Weight and balance. And we got 118 passengers. Type the number 0. Put it up there instead. And then hit start. And the number should start going down. Sometimes you have to hit start twice. Okay, everything's good. We made it. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was arrested. How about that? So I think we did just fine. It's weird how it starts deboarding at the back of the airplane. Yeah, because the first class passengers, you know what they're doing. They're getting off really fast. But seriously, the VNAV on this approach was really, really nice. It really was good. It hit every one of these. I think the one that it did not like was Follett. No, it was Eddie, I think, at 6,000. That was one that it had to hit, and it didn't hit that. If I had slowed it down a little bit more, if I'd maybe thrown out some speed brakes, I think it would have hit every descent constraint. So I don't think that VNAV is 100% ready, but I think it is an awful lot closer, and we should feel good about taking it into a VATSIM again tomorrow.